Let's go to New York now, where illegal immigrants could soon have many rights that everyday citizens may even take for granted. If Democrats win control of the state Senate in November, it's a definite possibility. A bill dubbed New York is Home could theoretically pass legislation that would prevent police from releasing any information about them to the feds unless there was a criminal warrant out for their arrest. It would also allow them to serve on juries, apply for professional licenses, and also be allowed to vote in state and local elections. Again, I'm talking about illegal immigrants. Now, Mike Long, who's chairman of the state Conservative Party, says, well, take a guess what he said. He said, this is absolute amnesty. It disregards the laws of the United States. It's unconscionable. He doesn't like it. Mayor de Blasio, he's pushed through a new law granting municipal ID cards to illegal immigrants, which provides them with some benefits. Governor Cuomo, he's remained quiet on the push by the New York Dems. Shocker. All right, let me go around the table. Let's start with you, milady. Good or bad?
I think it is potentially a good thing.
Oh, there comes the hedge.
No, I'm not. There is a hedge because I'm not so certain we have all the details on this. But I do
what
think,
detail do you need that you didn't hear? Come on.
What details do I need? For example, how, listen, is this going to apply to everybody across the board who's an illegal immigrant in New York?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just timed out in a certain time frame. For people who came after a certain year, because I think
don't give her a way out. I'm trying to get an answer.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. There are specifics here. There are specifics here we need to know. I do support some form of, citizenship potentially, and as you move forward.
Let me try and peg him on. You think an illegal immigrant should be able to be on a jury?
Absolutely not. Even the Democrats in the Assembly that wrote this, they don't even believe it'll pass. There are certain bills you put forward that are dead on arrival. This one is dead.
Such a pragmatist, should it be allowed? Just because it won't pass, do you think it's a good idea?
Well, if that's the case, I should be able to eat 9 apple pies, but that's never going to happen.
If I could figure out a way that you could eat 9 apple pies, my friend, you could eat even apple pie.
But I thought I was very clear when I said
you did that it won't happen, but I asked you, if you had a vote, okay, and you don't have to
Absolutely not.
You don't think it's good?
Absolutely not.
All right, you agree with
And you've got to run for election on this. How could you get elected with that type of position?
Stop with the practicality.
Okay.
On
like apple pies. I
9 at the same time?
I think it's actually a really good idea, and here's why. They live here, undocumented immigrants. They live here, they pay taxes here, whether they're paying them above the board or below the board. They certainly are subject to the criminal laws of New York State, so why shouldn't somebody have a jury of their peers, as they should? I don't have a problem with any of the rights that we've given
They're
them.
your peer, but they're not a citizen. So, in effect, it's like someone visiting the country that, are they really a peer?
The criminal defendants who happen to be undocumented immigrants deserve the possibility to face a jury of their peers. They don't get that opportunity right now.
But that's exactly my point. They do live here, and that's where the time frame becomes important. They've lived here for a long time, and they're going to be putting money into. I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm sorry, Anthony.
I just love this utopian society that we live in, where it's all kumbaya, and as long as you cross the border, you get free health care and everything you want.
I'm with you.
But the reality is that they're here illegal. That's why we call them illegal aliens.
So let me ask, what would you have them do? We should separate the families of these 12 million people, throw them back. I mean, what's the answer?
Well, the answer is that instead of spending so much money giving guns and everything to Pakistan, why don't we go into Ecuador and these other countries and actually help them rebuild their economies so that they don't have to keep sending their kids up here on these death trains?
I have no problem with helping that. But what do you do with the people that are here?
Preach on.
Let's also create
He's not answering.
I'm answering. You have to send a lot of them back. The ones that are coming across the border right now, you have to send them back.
So you have children here who are citizens, and you send their parents back.
You have to send these back. And let me tell you something. And I agree, we have to help people. But the reality is that I'm concerned about that one guy from Yemen, that one guy from Pakistan that is coming through this border that is looking to do bad things to America.
Yeah, but
and that's something that we're not focused on. That's a major issue.
They can get here through the regular channels just as easily as they can get here.
You're right, and then they get lost like 10,000 that we don't even know where they are.
Or through a student visa, which is where, by the way, all the 9/11 terrorists came from, mostly on legal, legitimate visas.
I agree with you, and
as
we
opposed
need
to
to handle
crossing the
both of
Rio
those
Grande.
matters.
One thing we never talk about with immigration is how do we expand legal immigration so that people can come through without going through the process
It
of
is a very
sneaking
good
into the
debate
country.
here, and I'm going to ask the audience to keep it going right now. I think Dominic's right. It's not going to pass, but I think it's a very interesting debate nonetheless here. And Jeannie wants timelines. All right, go to Facebook and Twitter and sound off on our question here today. Should illegal immigrants have voting rights? When we come back, 2 war heroes, this much we can't agree on, received the nation's highest military honor. We're going to have a look at the heroic acts that earned them the highest honor in the land.